We're back and it's another hidden attribute test, ladies and gentlemen, and we're at the extreme end of 1 out of 20, and today we're looking at pressure. Can a team with no pressure get promoted, have success, and thrive up in the Premier League? Or will they just flounder and just be meh? Let's go and find out, shall we? Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with Barnet, and of course, as you can see, 90 current ability, 200 potential ability, as always, 1 for pressure, and they've all got a future transfer to Saudi Arabia in 2045, and of course, as ever, a transfer embargo for the club. That's about all there is to say, really. The players in general, they're considered fairly professional because they've got reasonably good hidden attributes in some areas, reasonably average in others, but of course, pressure being at 1. Will that improve over time? Well, we will see. We will see because it's here on the squad screen. So over the course of the few seasons over the course of their careers, we will see who progresses better and will the players actually reach their potential. So what we're going to learn today is how important is pressure for player growth, success, and ultimately Wonderkid development. In terms of the Vanarama National League, they are predicted to win it 13-8 on. So without further ado, let's go to 2024 and see if they managed to win it at the first time of asking. Well, they did not win it. Oh, goal difference they missed out against York. York went up as champions on goal difference. Barnet in second, but they did win the playoffs. So let's have a look at the playoff fixtures. So Barnet got through in the second round, or the semi-final, should I say, beating Woking 3-1 after extra time, and then a 2-0 victory over Chesterfield in the final. Those are the awards for the season. Well, the top goal scorer was Dipo Akinyemi of York City. Barnet centre forward 2 got 14 in 31. Not the best, to be honest. But we'll be expecting the best in that first season? Not really. We're going to have a look at Barnet. Well, Dean Brennan's still in charge, of course, getting promoted. You can't really ask much more. And they've really improved. Look at this. Pressure's remained at 1 for every player. But look at that, 121. He's improved 31 attribute points as our Barnet defensive mid 1. He played 35 games. Barnet centre-back 1 is on 96. Everyone else is over 100. Although a couple of players have gone down into the under-18s, and they have not played. Or progressed, really. They're on 93 and 95. Well, yeah, look at this. Loads in the 1-teens. High 1-teens as well. 1-16s, loads at 1-18 and a couple at 1-19. They've really improved really well. In terms of League 2, the season preview, well, 91-1 on, I think. Thanks to everyone who's tried to correct me in the comments in previous videos about odds and terminology with betting. Still don't get it. They're littered through the Media Dream 11, as you can see. And yeah, the media think they're going to go up. So we will jump forward through and see if they do. But before we do that, while I load up the next season, I'm going to put a blank screen up so you can watch yourself subscribing to the channel. And there we go then. Thank you very much for subscribing. If you did, if you didn't, maybe I can turn you around in the next few minutes of this video. Or you've already subscribed, and if that's the case, I salute you. Well, Barnet did go up as champions on 94 points, winning the league by 11 points ahead of Shrewsbury, Notts County and Tranmere Rovers, who joined them in promotion. Player of the season was Kit Nelson for Newport County, and the top goal scorer was Macaulay Bonn for Gillingham, Macaulay Langstaff second, and Daniel Udo for Shrewsbury. Look at that, 2 Macaulays, top goal scorers. But no one for Barnet. So if we go and have a look at the actual league, 77 goals. They actually scored the most goals as well. So I'm surprised that no one got into the top goal scorer charts. But, you know, it is what it is. In terms of the senior squad, in the 130s and 120s now for loads of the players, they're really progressing. But pressure has not moved on whatsoever. So that's certainly interesting, isn't it? Now, from my perspective, what we're learning so far is pressure is not having a detrimental effect on their ability to improve. Quite the contrary, in fact. They're actually improving phenomenally well. Barnet do have decent facilities, though, and I'm wondering if the facilities are having a contributing factor. Possibly, possibly not. But pressure being at 1, you'd expect them to do a lot worse. But they've gone up as in the playoffs, and they've gone up as champions of League 2. They're now in League 1. They're already top of League 1. Can they stay there? Well, the media, of course, thinks they're going to. The Media Dream 11 is littered with Barnet players. It's 91-1. Dare I say it? On, off. The odds are in Barnet's favour. Let's say that. No international caps yet, but a lot of them are capped at under 19 and 20 level. And I think they will start to become capped at other levels of football very, very soon. So yeah, not a lot more to check in on at this juncture. We'll go through to 2026. But before we do that, should we have a cheeky little Ralph watch? Why not? Before we forget, unemployed. He's been at Middlesbrough for 2 years and he was sacked. He was sacked probably because he got relegated. Not sure. Anyway, let's hope Ralph can get a job again in this save game. Go on, Ralph. Free agent, someone snap him up. Yeah, favourites for the league. 2026, here we come. Can they get promoted again? Oh, they only gone and done it. 14 points they've won the league by. They've absolutely annihilated it. 75 goals to Peterborough's 53. Derby getting promoted in 6th via the playoffs and a very low scoring league. The second highest goal scorers was 56. Player of the season was Aaron Kishin for Derby. The top goal scorer was Alfie May on 19, Macaulay Langstaff on 18, and Barnet centre forward 1 who did get 17. Finally, someone in the top goal scorers charts. There was a Barnet then. They have got players in the 140s and 130s. They probably will be favourites to go, dare I say, at least playoffs in the Championship. Mid 140s to 150, early 150s is top level Championship talent. But 130s is your average Championship player, really. And there you go. Their case in point. Centre back 3 is in the Media Dream 11. Loads of West Ham players. And yeah, you've got Barnet who are in 2nd. Favourites for automatic promotion along with West Ham United. So I'm wondering if they're going to get stuck in the Championship at all. Usually the Championship can be a bit of a sticking point, but the players have really progressed on. If they do fail this season, they'll go up next season. Within 2 years, they'll be in the Premier League. But we are going to jump just the 1 year to 2027 because, yeah, if they go up, they go up. You want to see it? Well, look at that. West Ham went up as champions as predicted, beating Leicester by a singular point. Then Leicester were 9 points clear of Leeds in 3rd, who were 11 points clear of Barnet in 6th, who only managed to make it into the playoffs via goal difference ahead of Sheffield United. But that was enough for them to get promoted. So what happened in the playoffs? They beat Leeds 3-1 and then Burnley 1-0 in the final. So they've got promoted at the first time of asking. And look at that, 160, 157s, 150s for quite a few, and loads in the 140s and 130s as well. So a very, very good squad. Still 1 pressure. So pressure hasn't improved one bit, but it's not making that much difference at the moment. Premier League season preview says 9th. Let's go to 2028 and see if they do manage to survive. They did, 14th. 14th! Good enough for me. 14th was Barnet, 44 points, minus 9 goal difference. In terms of the award winners, I don't expect anything to have happened in terms of top goal scorer or anything. Didn't actually look, did we, in the Championship, but it was Ben Brereton Diaz. No one was in there for Barnet, unfortunately. Man City won the league. De Zerbi's in charge. Yeah, the Premier League, Barnet are still in it. There you go. And the season preview is stating they are going to finish 7th. So the media think they are going to be there or thereabouts for a bit of European football. Marino Pusic is in charge. Dean Brennan got sacked. Excuse me. Due to the club's poor league position. Jesus Christ. How unfair is that? He's got you from the Conference League to the Premier League in successive seasons. Oh, look at this. They lost in the FA Cup final to Liverpool. Missing out in the FA Cup final to Liverpool. Bloody hell. Brentford winning the Carabao Cup as well. Bloody hell. It was a bad start. They got, 3 draws in August. To be fair, 2 wins in September, but then October and November. 11 defeats and a draw through till the end of December. And they did turn it around in the second half of the season. Now, 170, 160s, is 170 the cap? 6 caps for Barnet goalkeeper 2 as well. Speaking of caps, Thomas Frank's in charge of England. Oh, and Ralph went to Oxford for a couple of years and now he's the manager of Finland. Go on, Ralph. Right, so, yeah, the media think they're going to be there or thereabouts for Europe. We're at 170 with some of the players. Pressure's not moved, so I don't think pressure does move, regardless of what's happening. Maybe with mentoring it might. That's for another time, another place, but we are in 2020. Let's jump forward 2 years to 2030 now, see how we're getting on. So it was one worse. It was actually 15th the following season, and with a team that's got 170s and 160s and 150s, they should be finishing in the top half. Then they did finish in the top half, finishing 5th the following season after that. So who's in charge? It's Thomas Frank, former England manager Thomas Frank. He came in because Marino Pusic was sacked, probably due to poor league position. But look at that. FA Cup winners Barnet, most recently beating Newcastle in the final. And there we go. 182 for the goalkeeper, quite a few in the 170s. I feel like their growth is slowing. I mean, they are 24. They are 24 now, but I think the growth has slowed drastically in the last couple of years. Is that down to pressure? Quite possibly, but they just finished 5th. That's a very, very good season. How are they going to cope with Champions League football then? Well, we're going to jump forward quite a few years now, and we're going to find that out. I mean, a lot of them are being capped for England as well, so I'll be interested to see if England managed to win anything. So let's go forward 5 years to 2035 and see how these next 5 years progress. They'll be 29. If anyone's going to have hit 200, they'll have done it by then. Yeah, they finished 5th in 29-30, and then the following season, well, look at that. League champions, 83 points, beating Manchester City in 20-30-31. And second the following season, he actually had a better points total. He had 87, but Arsenal just pipped them by 2 points. That's unfortunate, isn't it? 99 points for Barnet. Look at that. Wow. Jesus, they've absolutely annihilated the league by 18 points. That's 2 leagues in 3 years. And the third in 4, 13 points ahead of Liverpool. And the final season of the stopping, again, Barnet. So we've won 4 league titles since we've come back. Or since we've been gone, should I say. Thomas Frank's still there. They're all still there with 1 pressure. Plenty in the 200s and 190s. And they're winning trophies. So does pressure matter? Doesn't seem to, does it? They've also won a Champions League, as you can see here, beating AC Milan in the final in the 2033-34 season. And of course, you saw there 4 FA Cups, 3 in a row, beating City, Chelsea and United in 3 successive seasons. And current holders of the Carabao Cup, runner-up 2 seasons before that, and then the winner against Newcastle in 31-32. So we've won basically every trophy available to us. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, and Champions League. And the UEFA Super Cup, Community Shield. Well then, despite pressure being at 1, these guys have made it there, and they're playing fantastically well. Well, another 5 years then, to 2040, and can Thomas Frank keep the success rocking and rolling? Yeah, 4 league titles in 5 years, and they've made it 5 league titles with a 4-point win over Manchester City in the 35-36 season. And again, a 6-point win this time, 94 points, 36-37. Again, by 16 points this time. Again, by a singular point, but still getting the job done. And finally, 4 points clear of Arsenal, who've got 92 points. Very unfortunate to come second. Barnet have won 5 league titles in a row. So they've got 9 Premier League titles, 5 FA Cups. They've not won another Carabao Cup, which is it's gone to Manchester. They have come runner-up once. Man City have been in the final pretty much every single time. 4 Champions Leagues, though, and look at that, 3 in a row, beating Barcelona twice and then Man City, losing it to Arsenal, and then Barcelona have won it against Benfica recently. So Thomas Frank, surely, is a club legend. There we go. A club legend for the club, because he's won how many trophies? 22 cup wins, 9 league wins. Well, what an appointment he was. Dean Brennan and Marino Pusic can't believe their luck. Oh, pressure has moved up to 2 for a lot of players. However, their current ability is dropping. In 2040, I would say if they're going to win more trophies, you've only got a couple more years in them. I think they're probably going to fall down, but I don't think they're going to finish outside the top half. That's a prediction. I don't think they're going to be outside the top half whatsoever. I think it's going to be a stark realisation when all these players leave, when usually it's a load of money and they actually benefit from it, but I'm not sure they will. We will find that out though, but we're going to go through to 2045, which will be the final stop off before these guys all leave the club. So let's go to 2045 and see how much success has been brought to Barnet. There we go, winning it in the 2039-40 season, and we move on. And oh, well, all of a sudden down in 6th. I did not expect them to fall down that far in one season. Then they were down in 7th, so getting Europa League football 2 seasons in a row. They didn't win the Europa League though this 41-42 season, because they would have qualified for the Champions League, of course. Man United and Chelsea both getting administration. United down in 10th. Chelsea avoiding relegation by 4 points. Well, the following season, Barnet in 7th yet again. Fair play to them. So they've managed to maintain themselves within the Europa League spots. United and Chelsea recovered to being mid-table. Oh, dearie me. 16th. I said they weren't going to fall outside the top half. Well, they have in the 43-44 season. We've got one more season with all the players at the club. And I think they're going to go down. Oh, they have. 19th. 19th. That's disappointing. Newcastle have won the league a couple of times in a row. Barnet have won so many, though. No other... Oh, another Carabao Cup? Yeah. 40-41. No FA Cups, no other trophies, though, in that time. Who's in charge? Well, Thomas Frank got sacked. I mean, as if you'd sack him. Take into consideration the fact he's got a transfer embargo and his squad's aging. Mikel Arteta, in and out. Max Bird, in and out. All of them, in and out. No one's lasted more than a year, which isn't great, is it? They've got £1.12 billion, the senior squad, all the players. I mean, to be fair, the players have actually maintained their ability quite well. 160 for Barnet right back 2, with 134 caps. Wow, 167 caps with the goalkeeper. So many players over 100 caps for England. De Zerbi's in charge. Won a Euros in 2036 and a World Cup in 2026. I don't think they were playing in 2026, but in 2036 they most certainly would have been. So they have managed to win a Euros. In terms of the Championship, well, they're in the Championship. They are favourites to come back up, although all the players are leaving. They're going to get a load of money in, so we are going to see if they manage to make a bit of a success of themselves. We are going to simulate forward and just see how they fared before we go and check in on a few other final details. But before we do, let's have a quick look at the Premier League and the awards. The top goal scorer was, well, it was never from Barnet. Never once. Jordan Whitby seemed to be banging them in for Manchester City. Quite a few players player of the year. Barnet Winger 1 and Barnet Winger 4 with 2 apiece. And yeah, Barnet Cam 2 managed to sneak one in there, but 2 apiece for Winger 1 and Winger 4. They seem to be the best players in the team. And yeah, fair enough to them. So before we go through and have a look at how they managed to fare, we will look at the Golden Ball. No one's won a Golden Ball. Football of the Year, Winger 1 and Cam 2. Player of the Year, again, Barnet Cam 2, Winger 1 and Cam 2. So he's done pretty well for himself, Barnet Cam 2. He's managed to win quite a few personal awards. The World Team of the Year, no one's in there this year. The World Team of the Year, Luke Young at Brighton. All seasons. We've got defensive mid 1, centre back 3, centre back 5, right back 2, and the goalkeeper. I'm in the way, so I will just quickly jump out of the way so you can see this little cluster down here. But no one going forward, interestingly. But then they haven't been banging them in going forward, have they? They've not been overly impressive, so it is what it is. So we will jump through just to see how they got on after all these players left, just because I'm interested to see how Barnet managed to fare. Did they fall further down the leagues, or did they manage to maintain themselves as a Premier League club? Well, that doesn't bode especially well. We're 12 years into the future in 2057, and as you can see here, no one... Barnet are not in the Premier League, although Norwich have just finished second. So what's happened here? Oh, wow. They had a tycoon in 2030, and then that tycoon for 17 years... was there. Then they scaled down the funding. Within 4 years, another tycoon took over. Although it was then taking 4 years for them to scale down the funding. Look at that as well. Sorry, 2030 they had tycoon takeover. They had another tycoon in 2028. 3 tycoons for Norwich in this simulation. And yeah, do you know what? They've been pretty good. They've been. I mean, you'd expect them to have done better here, but once they got into the Premier League, they've stayed in the Premier League. They've not been that perennial yo-yo club that they are known to be in real life. This is not Norwich we're looking at today. It's Barnet, who have just finished 6th in the Championship. So, Jordan Brown, they've still got £446 million in the bank, so they've not spent it all. The squad is... it's all right. It's all right. It's Championship quality. And they've been down in the Championship pretty much religiously. They've been up in the Premier League for 3 years. They've been in the Premier League for 3 years. They stayed up once, then they came straight back down. And when they went up again, they came straight back down. So they're turning into a bit of a yo-yo club. They've not done much with the money, unfortunately. And yeah, that's unfortunately about it. But 9 Premier Leagues, 4 Champions Leagues in this era of domination for Barnet. Let's have a quick look at it there. I'm going to leave this screen up as we outro this video because pressure at 1 did not seem to have too much of a negative effect. They progressed, they got to their ability, and they did not fail to win trophies. I'd argue this has been one of the most successful showings of these kind of squad experiments that we've had as we've climbed from the Vanarama National League to the Premier League. Let me know if you think there's been other ones that have been equally or if not more successful. And I'm talking about with 1 as their attribute ability, not the 20 flip reverse side. That being said, was there elements of underachieving with some of their ability points? When their current ability was in the 160s and 170s, and I felt they were underachieving before they just started winning everything. I felt there was a couple of seasons of underachievement. So with 20 pressure, is that going to make any difference? Well, we will be back to do that at another time. But this has been a roaring success for the club, but not a success for saying pressure's super important, because it wasn't. And you can't really argue the fact that because he had 200 potential ability, that skewed it, because we've done that with, he's been consistent with every attribute 1 out of 20 that we've done, and this is hands down the most successful, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought. Did this surprise you? Were they more successful than you thought they would be? Because let me tell you, I am very, very surprised. But I hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and all that good stuff. Most importantly, though, take good care of yourselves, gang. I'll see you soon.